from somebody who made a shipment map for Battlefield 6. Looks like he's also part of Beautiful Light, as well as part of the Battlefield Portal Hub, which Battlefield the Portal obviously is part of 2042 as well. But he did a video how to create maps in Battlefield 6 Portal, and I think they do have some official like README documents and stuff with this as well. But I wanted to see what this looked like, and obviously maybe we could teach other people how to make maps as well. Maybe that's what some of this is, but it says how to create maps in Battlefield 6 Portal. Hopefully this is okay to watch.
And today I'm standing in for Motivator to make the English voiceover for this video. I'm not a native speaker either, so please excuse any bad pronunciations and my accent. Going forward, I'll be reading his script from his perspective, and I hope you enjoy the video.
Okay.
Today I'm making a short video to teach you how to build your first map for Battlefield Portal using Godot.
Wait a second.
Before we start, a few notes and clarifications. I don't usually make tutorial videos, so I hope this will be useful to you. I was lucky enough to try the tools early, thanks to Ripple Effect and the Battlefield Studios, and I want to share what I learned, the basics of Portal map creation.
This is awesome!
This is my first tutorial on Portal and map building, so it may get updates later, especially if the SDK or workflow changes. Should that happen, I will pin a comment on this video, or if the changes are big enough, I'll make a new video and link it in the description. In this video, I'll cover the core basics to understand the tool. First steps first, if you haven't already, download the SDK. You will find it in the description or on the Battlefield 6 website.
But I'm not leaking anything, so I'm not showing you
any folder. The contents should look something like this. 3 things matter right away. First, the README. It's packed with tips. A lot of what I say here is also in there, so I strongly recommend reading it.
Nice.
If the SDK or workflow changes later, that's likely where you see it. Next is a Godot project.
I'm going to put all of that into an AI and tell it to... I'm going to train it on that, and then I'm going to ask it questions because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm going to be like, yo, how do I do this?
Project folder.
Anonymous, thank you for the gifted. OG, thank you for the sub.
Inside you see subfolders and a Godot project file. I will show you how to use that in a second. There's also the level folder, which contains all the maps by codename.
We don't know anything on BR yet. Are you going to need to max your weapons for? We don't really know.
And an add-ons folder with Portal Dev add-ons. This is also where you can drop the custom add-ons I will share later on.
I'll keep you updated as we know stuff.
Now let's jump in. Launch Godot from its executable.
Godot. See, that's how you say it. I'm going to trust this guy.
Drop the Battlefield Portal.Godot project file into it. Click to open, and it will initialize.
I would say I would recommend doing it.
The Portal project.
I would recommend unlocking stuff just to be safe.
Patient. When it's done, use the BF Portal add-on the devs provide and click Portal Setup. That configures Godot for Battlefield Portal map creation.
So this is what I opened off stream earlier, and I didn't want to risk showing on stream. I could show recorded stuff, but I can't show live stuff. So that's why I didn't want to show any of this live. But this is what popped up, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I just created.
Once it finishes, click Option.
So what did he say to do?
When it's done, use the BF Godot project file into it. Click to open, and it will initialize the.
Oh, so you got to drag that into it. Battlefield Portal project.
Portal project. It can take a little while, so please be patient. When it's done, use the BF Portal add-on the devs provide and click Portal Setup.
Portal
that configures
Setup.
Godot for Battlefield Portal map creation.
Nice!
When
oh my
finishes,
gosh.
Click Object Library. Here you can browse all available objects and place them on Battlefield maps. The library can take a moment to load, so please be patient again. Clicking Portal Setup also generates the asset thumbnails. Sometimes after restarting Godot, thumbnails disappear or every item shows the same thumbnail. If that happens, just click Portal Setup again. After the Portal Setup finishes, open a map, then click on Scene, open Scene Level, then pick any codenamed map, say for example Tungsten, and open it.
These are like the code names, like Capstone is Liberation Peak. That's what, like, at some of the early capture stuff and in events that I got to go to, or whatever you want to call them, they basically, that was what they referred to all the maps as, because I don't think they had even the finalized name of the maps yet.
With the Portal SDK in Godot, we are not using Godot as a game engine itself. We are using it as a spatial editor to place things on the map, export them, and use them in Battlefield in the Battlefield engine.
That is
by default,
nice,
the map only
dude!
has a few elements, for example, the combat area. If I open it and click Collision Polygon,
it's gonna be good! This looks good!
Areas. Editing is very simple.
You could change, so the out-of-bounds areas, this is what they were saying, you could change on, like, Liberation Peak, how you couldn't go down in the forest down there. On this, you could just extend the whole thing, and make it so that's the thing. You could change. This is what I was saying earlier with why don't they do this? This is the map right now that we're looking at is not the biggest. Oh, actually, it is the biggest. This is Maroc Valley that we're looking at an overview of. But you could make a whole map just on this side. You could do a TDM here. You can make it on this village. You could do a TDM over here. You could do a TDM over here. You could have a bunch of different layouts for the map, which they usually only have one on any of the maps. You could do domination. You could do this is a domination zone. Here's A, B, C. You can put them all next to each other. You could do a single line across the map here. You could set it up however you. That's sick, dude.
Drag the points to.
This is too much for me. Yeah, but other people can make it, and then you could just take their copy their code or whatever and do it. That sounds incredible. This is what I've always wanted them to do, where it's like you could have multiple maps on this big map. You could have multiple different little setups. You could set up some different Mario Kart tracks. We could do some death races. Just like we've been doing on Warzone and on PUBG for years, but we couldn't really ever create. Well, we could create them on this. We could set up some tracks. We could put jumps. We could set some RPG stations up here.
Reshape it.
We're going to be gaming.
In points, you can delete vertices. If you want a simple 4-point area, keep 4 and make a square. You can shape the player area just
Look
below,
at that.
say, for example, the construction
that's
buildings.
sick. This looks pretty
you can also
easy
add
too.
points to refine the shape and, of course, move the whole area as needed. Next, static, the terrain and assets. This is a rough visual of the map, which is why rocks and terrain look.
Wait, what did he click there?
And assets.
Static.
This is a rough
The terrain.
visual of the map, which
And
is
the
why
assets.
rocks and terrain look low quality and many textures are missing. Right now you can't remove map objects or edit the terrain.
Okay, so you are locked at least into the base terrain of what is set up there. Fortunately, Maroc does have a lot of those flat areas, so maybe that's where he made shipment as well. Rusty Fly Guy, thank you guys
What
as
you
well.
can do
Appreciate the
instead,
subs.
though, is adding 3D objects and gameplay objects. You will see Team HQ1 and Team 2 HQ. These are gameplay elements. To find more, go to Objects and then Gameplay. You will see categories like AI to spawn AI.
Interesting. AI spawn.
Add waypoints, etc.
So you could spawn it and then have it go in
You can
certain
also
directions.
see the Conquest Capture Point, or here is the Rush MCOM. I won't go deep.
Ooh. See, that's where even just at like a basic level, making a custom map
coding.
like that might be interesting, because then you could even change the direction that like Rush goes. If you got this preset location this way, you could change it to a whole
here,
different
but
path.
if you or someone on your team handles gameplay scripting for your mod, this is where you'll find the gameplay pieces.
Yeah, you probably would have to know more elements or
One
something
key
like that,
rule
though, right?
When you place an object in a scene,
Like if you want to do custom AI spawning and scripting of the locations of where they're going or whatever, versus just changing the location of the boundaries of a map would be very
must be a
different.
.tscn object. For example, if I want to spawn an Abrams tank, you'll see both abrams.tscn and abrams.glb. The .glb is just the 3D mesh reference. It's raw model and can't be added directly to the scene. Delete that and place the .tscn here. Abrams TSN, and boom, we've spawned a tank. About assets. Not every asset is allowed on every map. You will notice the library is split per map. If I'm on battery, for example, and try to place a control tower, it may show up as not allowed because that tower only exists on other maps. It's a limitation for performance reasons, because the more unique assets you add to a map, the more expensive it gets. Because of this, they restrict the objects to ones already present on that map. However, there are several categories, and especially two, that are available across sublibraries, for example the FX, which are visual effects, and SFX, which is sounds. You can place them and call them in your code anywhere. Now that we've covered Portal and Spatial Editor, let's talk Godot basics. The first thing you might notice, when you try to place an asset, it floats in front of the camera, and that's pretty annoying. To fix this, go to Static, then Terrain or Asset, right-click on Editable Children, right-click the mesh, Editable Children again, in Terrain select Mesh, and then Create Collision Shape as a static body child of Mesh. Finally, click Create to generate a terrain collision. You will see a new Tri-Mesh collider around the terrain. Now if I try to place my AI spawner, it snaps onto the ground instead of floating. You can do this on
That's a
assets
good
too,
tip.
but
Oh, look
assets
at that.
are a little bit more detailed, so generating collisions can take longer depending on your PC. Once it's done, we can place objects directly on map assets. If you are lagging or simply don't need a feature, you can also delete the collision to improve performance a bit. Next up, camera controls. Hold right click and move the mouse to look around. While holding right
think I
click,
could
use
do this.
WASD to move. Still holding right click, use W plus mouse wheel to change camera speed.
Kind of
Use
reminds me of
Q&E to
like
move
some of
up
my
and
video
down.
editing stuff.
Object controls, drag and drop to place. You can rotate, move up and down, or left and right. The colored handle you're using is called the gizmo. Every asset has an origin point, and the transform shows the numeric position, rotation, and scale that match your gizmo moves. Important for Portal, if you unlock that little scale link and scale non-uniformly,
Once you do one,
the
it'll be
object
easy.
won't
Yeah, you
warp
just gotta
and
figure out
won't
this.
appear in Portal, at least at the time of this video. Keep the link locked and use uniform scale. All three numbers must match. You
Yeah,
can't
okay.
scale objects very large, they'll appear giant in the map, but keep it uniform.
I wonder though, these are just like assets of what it looks like, right? Like this isn't like an ammo box you can interact with.
Next up, shortcuts. Control
Or like get ammo from. This is just like a design thing, I would
plus
assume.
D duplicates an object at its current position, so you will need to move the copy so they don't overlap and you can actually see the object. Shift plus G lets you place an object where your mouse points.
I mean, you
at
can
your
make
cursor,
anything on here.
which is
It is limited, he said, to the specific map has certain assets. So like you can't bring maps from the Empire State onto Maroc Valley. You can't bring like a giant building out here. But if you go to that map, you could change it. But that map also, it sounds like you can't change the default assets that are there, the terrain and whatever's already built on it. I don't think you can just delete the city and flatten the city. But maybe they'll have something in the future where they can just give you a flat city to start building on in the first place.
pretty handy to avoid
not sure.
having to use the gizmo. Next, press F to focus on object.
Development
Useful
streams
if you've lost
inbound?
it in a scene somewhere. Also,
know.
the T key toggles how the gizmo behaves. When local space is on, moving the object also moves the gizmo orientation, which is great for relative moves. But sometimes, say you want to move it strictly to the right, that can be tricky in local space. So press T to switch or uncheck the local space and move it more easily along the world axis. To stay organized, you can also click the plus button and add a node 3D. This one basically acts like a group or folder you used to from our software. By default, it spawns pretty far away, so press F to find it if you're lost. You can also use Shift plus G-click to place it near you, then drag your objects into that node to keep things tidy. That gives you a pretty clean group. To finish the basics, let's export the map. Before exporting, I recommend deleting any temporary objects you generated that aren't part of Portal itself. For example, remove the ground collision we created earlier. We will do the same later for some plugin helper elements, clean them up so only Battlefield Portal approved objects remain. You can also open the memory tool plugin, hit refresh, and it will show you how many objects are in the scene and the memory used. If you have extra clutter on the map, that's how you spot it. To export, then click on Battlefield Portal, export current level, click it, and you're done. You will find the file via the Open Export. This .json file is what you will upload on the Battlefield Portal website for the same map you selected and modified. Pick the same map, then upload the file. And that's all the basics you need to start building maps in Battlefield Portal. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like and drop a comment. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask away. I will try to answer any.
This is awesome, dude.
And that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed
gotta log
the video.
in. I
Until
guess
next
it
time,
logged me
see
out.
you soon in Portal.
But I'll link you guys the video here if you want to check it out. We're definitely going to subscribe to this, see if we get any more coming out. I'll leave a comment on it as well. So much to think about. Yeah, there's so much possibility with it. Metro and locker time. Here we go. Can't wait for the Dust 2 again. So they already created one, though. That's the crazy thing. Thanks for the video. That's awesome. That is awesome.